Yeah, today we are going to discuss Eubacteria. Previously, we have discussed already uh, the kingdom classified by most probably the Whittaker. Whittaker classified the organisms into 5 kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. The Monera, first one, the Monera is again classified into few categories like Eubacteria, Archaebacteria, and Mycoplasma and Actinomycetes. So previous class we have discussed already Archaebacteria. Now we are going to discuss Eubacteria and what are the characteristics of Eubacteria and how they can be furtherly classified. Just to see that Eubacteria is a bacteria are most abundant. We know that bacteria organisms can be everywhere we can find, anywhere we can find, right? Those are most abundant microorganisms. They are very small in size, we cannot see with our naked eye, so that they are microorganisms, right? And they occur almost in everywhere. We know that microorganisms can be occur everywhere, in the air, water, in the animal bodies and hot springs, desert conditions, anywhere we can find. So the written point is here. They occur almost everywhere, right? And they also live in hot springs, and these are the specific positions or places we are highlight that where these organisms can be survive or living, right? They can also live in hot springs, right? More than the 100 degrees temperature conditions also the bacteria can able to survive. And desert conditions with less water, more temperature, also they can able to survive. And later they can able to live in the snow. They can able to live in the snow in the sense of like a 0 degrees and minus degrees temperature also the bacteria can able to survive. So you can observe that here it is a very hot temperature, more than 100 degrees, and here minus degrees also they can able to survive. Later, they can live in the deep oceans. They can live in deep oceans. And we are knowing that the salinity and environmental conditions and temperatures are completely different in oceans, right? So in such situations also these organisms can able to survive, right? Just to see that they live in the other organisms, not only in the environmental conditions, this bacteria can able to survive in other organisms also, in the bodies of other organisms, as parasites. We know that the parasites in the sense of living in the other organism, and they are obtaining food and shelter from the host organism, right? Sometimes they can kill the host, sometimes without killing the host, both of them they can be living together. Such condition is called symbiont. The other condition also be there, symbiont in the sense two different organisms are living together, mutually benefited with each other, right? So that is called symbionts. So these organisms can be survive in almost all conditions, even in the other organisms also, sometimes as a parasite and sometimes as a symbiont. Parasites in the sense of like simply they are obtaining food material, they are nothing do to the host organism. But here in the case of symbionts, they are mutually benefited with each other, right? And here it is the bacteria are grouped into 4 groups, categorized into 4 groups, right? It depends on shape. The bacteria can be classified into 4 groups based on shape, because all bacteria are not having the same shape. Just to see that here, based on the shape we can find the 4 types of bacteria: coccus, bacillus, vibrio and spirillum. Just to see that coccus, it is a spherical in shape. The bacteria is in the spherical shape, we can call them as a coccus bacteria. If the bacteria is in the rod shaped, we can call them as a bacillus. And if the bacteria is in the comma shape, we know that commas, tipping the commas, right, while we are writing, right, that's generally called as a vibrium. If the bacteria is in the comma shape, it is called vibrium, right? And if the bacteria is a spiral shaped like that, the bacteria is in the spiral shaped, We can call them as a spirillum. On the name of the same only that. Spirillum bacteria, right? So these are the 4 different types of bacteria we can find. They are categorized into 4 groups based on the shape. Based on the shape, right? Here it is one more important point is here. Bacteria are characterized by presence of a rigid cell wall. When you observe the bacteria, around the bacteria we can find a strong rigid cell wall is there, right? That cell wall which is made up of peptidoglycan. The material which is present in the cell wall around the bacterial organism is peptidoglycan, right? And this is also called murin. This is also called murin and also called mucopeptide. It is also called mucopeptide. So just to see that the last point is the bacteria after the cell membrane. For example, this is the bacterial cell, for example, right? And there are 2 membranes we can find around the bacteria. There is a cell wall, and just beneath the cell wall there is a cell membrane. Just beneath the cell wall there is another membrane called cell membrane. This cell membrane folds, infoldings of cell membrane. The cell membrane sometimes it is having the infoldings like that, it can be folded. The cell membrane can be folded towards inside. The cell membrane sometimes it is folded towards inside. So those infoldings are called mesosomes. These are called mesosomes. Yes, this regarding you